Hello, my name is Robert Debrot. I moved to Manchester, New Hampshire about a year ago, right in the area of the Riverwalk walking path and bridge, which is to my right. And when I first got here, I was, first of all, I love New Hampshire, and I came here because of the outdoor lifestyle, the beauty of New Hampshire. Really drew me to it. It fit in with my lifestyle, and I live right around this area. And when I moved here initially in that first summer, I took my bike along the path here, the Riverwalk Trail, and the Piscataqua Trail across the bridge, and was shocked by all the graffiti that was everywhere, and including vandalism, things that were damaged. Right behind me is this beautiful bull sculpture, and this was filled with graffiti, and there was overgrowth all over it. It really couldn't be appreciated. It looked like it hadn't been cared for, and the whole trail system looked that way. And I just was really disappointed with that, and I immediately started thinking, what can I do about this? And one of the first things I did was actually adopt a sign which comes right into this area, and I just promised myself, and I told my community, the neighbors that live around me, that there will be no more graffiti on that sign. And I've had to remove it a couple of times, but once it was removed a couple of times, people gave up, the vandals gave up writing graffiti on that. And that kind of was planting the seed for me in what I did after that, which was create a Facebook group called Riverwalk Beautification Alliance, Manchester NH. Anybody who's interested in improving the Manchester area and specifically this trail system, please go onto that Facebook page and like it, and you'll receive information on updates related to events, cleanup dates, graffiti removal events, landscaping upgrades, and also a mural program that we're going to set up in the very near future, all designed to beautify this bucolic environment that runs along the river. Okay, I think right now we're on the walking bridge that was built many years ago as part of the improvement to this Manchester area. And I just wanted to point out that there are these beautiful granite seats. These are not the originals. The originals were vandalized, removed, and thrown into the river. Following that, though, they installed new ones, a gift of Ocean Bank, I should point out. And they also installed security cameras. There's one on each side of this bridge, so that anything that happens now can be recorded. The police have a video of it, and appropriate actions can be taken against the vandals. That's it. One of the first properties that was developed along the river after the mills were upgraded was the Fisher Cat Stadium, which is to my right. And what you're looking at right now is the condominiums that were developed soon after that. The newest development that's happening right now, as you can see, there's construction underway right behind me. And that's actually a luxury rental building of about 150 units. So we're going to get another 150 families right along the river here, which is really going to have a dramatic impact on the flow of population that goes on this the walking bridge and along the trail here. So you can see some really great improvements that are occurring right now. We'll be seeing that new building opening up in about a year. So here is an example of some graffiti. You can see on this sign there's inked graffiti, but there's also taped on, which is essentially post office address labels that are blank when they get them, and then they tag their names or whatever they do. Like, you can't even read what they write, but they put it on that, and then they jump up and they stick it to the sign.
Okay, you can see.
You can see the stop sign down there is beyond repair, and we are currently working with the city to replace them and also lift them up a little higher and make sure that they're graffiti-proof signs.
Go.
So one of the other things that's really important to upgrading this area and eliminating the graffiti problem here, as well as throughout Manchester, is really educating everybody about graffiti. Graffiti takes several different forms. It's done by gangs, drug dealers. It's done by kids, mostly males, typically, of all races, of all economic conditions, and they're usually just frustrated kids, and they're from the ages of 13 to 17 years old, typically. And they do vandalism, they write all different types. Some believe it's an art form. I do not take that position, and if you go to the website graffitihurts.org, that's www.graffitihurts.org, you can educate yourself on these things. You can teach your children. There's actually programs on that website that can educate, can be used as a tool for teachers. And it educated me, because I didn't know too much about it until I was thrust into this environment. And one of the things we've done here at the Riverwalk is this pedestal used to be here for something like a brass bird sanctuary education program. And they removed that, ripped it off, and that disappeared. But what I've done is create a little sign with a little bit of education about what graffiti is, what it does, how it's destructive to a community. Coming from New York City, one of the things I learned, and I am in property management, and I was responsible for residential buildings on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. And I moved there before Giuliani had come into office, and I got to see essentially what I'm seeing here. Back in the 80s, it was destroyed, graffiti everywhere. And there's a philosophy that Giuliani invigorated in New York City called broken windows philosophy. Essentially what it says is, if you create an environment, or if an environment looks like something that's not good, broken windows, for example, or graffiti, or anything else that doesn't look right, people tend to avoid those areas. Good people avoid those areas. It's scary. It's intimidating for the elderly. It's intimidating for everybody. And so what his philosophy, Giuliani's philosophy, was to create an environment, even if there's some bad activity going on, take actions immediately, restore the condition of everything, remove the graffiti, fix the windows, do community policing. And what tends to happen is it sends a message to the bad people, the drug dealers, the gang members, the people who are looking to do damage for whatever their reasons. It sends a message to them that this is not a place to do that, that you're taking a risk of getting caught here because this environment is being taken care of and watched. One of the other things that we're doing in terms of projects is to create murals in very vulnerable locations. And you can see behind me is a cement tunnel, which is a passageway for cars that go above. It's a great place to create a mural, to make something beautiful. Historically, when you create a mural, the vandals tend to leave it alone, or they work around it. Somehow they have some level of respect, because in their minds, their vandalism is art. So they tend not to draw on other people's art, although we've seen that along the trail many times where they write all over their own art. So it's no guarantee, but it certainly makes it look a lot better than a blank slate. So we're at the new walking bridge, which leads right into Goffstown. we're going to start seeing a much larger population of residents from Goffstown going into this trail system. And also, those of us from Manchester will be using their trail system. So it's really important that we keep up appearances, be good with our neighbors, and really work hard on eliminating this graffiti and vandalism problem on the trail. So we're at the south side of Queen City Avenue at the very end of the Riverwalk trail. And you can see here there's a big open lot, which I believe was originally going to be a park. And then I believe in 2008, when the whole country crashed, that was canceled out. So there's a tremendous opportunity here for growth, for development, and potentially another park at the end of this trail. And we hope to see that in the near future. So hopefully